Right. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. We are here for the final round of what will be the finale of the Brazilian Stockcar Championship. I was just updating builds because we are not running on the build that has only just come out. It was kind of ill-timed for this league race, but I had to roll back, and it just flicked to 100% downloaded when I switched over. So we're just starting up the game now. But in terms of the championship, it's looking very healthy for me because I've managed to share the wins and the second places so far. Didn't have such a good round last time out, round 5, which I believe was at what was that? The Ayrton Senna circuit, somewhere in Brazil, I think. But yeah, still leading the championship. It's kind of a little bit of a damp squib, really, because the Philip Pichler is away for Christmas, so it means that I was already sharing the first and second places between him and me. So it would have been nice to round out the season with a bit more of a showdown. I'm not really expecting to win tonight, but just need to pick up some points. That's the name of the game. Picking up points or scoring. With Sim Racing Online, it is just a case of starting the race and you will score points. So that's a good thing. That is a very good thing. So we're just getting loaded up into the server. So the last round is a Jacarapagua. I think that I'm emphasizing the wrong syllables. I know someone else pronounced it correctly, but I can't seem to remember the correct pronunciation. So we're going to go with Jacarapagua. And that's where we are at the moment. Right, just loading in now. I've had a little bit of practice around here. I think that the 2005 version of this circuit doesn't flow as well as the classic version. The classic version is based in 1988. I kind of prefer it in terms of just the flow. Let's make sure I have my overlays on so we can see what we're doing. I seem to be all sorted. Okay. Steam preview went down. Never mind. Okay. What am I looking for? Let's get rid of that. All kinds of things all over my screen. We're going to put on our pedal camera. It's probably on the piss, but it's not too bad. It's not bad. I'm going to remind myself to take off my jumper this time. Because I didn't do it last time. The race is 45 minutes, so it can get a little sweaty. And again, I'm doing it pretty much without my haptic cushion. Because it's on the blink at the moment. I can't think of what's wrong with it, but there is something wrong with it. But I'm sure we'll be back next season when I can afford the upgraded one. Okay, so let's have a look where we're at. So we've got to load a setup. So that's where we were last time. So 33 litres. Let's have a bash. So, how is everyone tonight? Are they well? Are they gearing up for Christmas, hopefully? I was just thinking about what to have for Christmas lunch and dinner. Right, so this is Jacarapagua. So we're coming out this side. Turn the force feedback multiplier down a little. So one thing this circuit has is that some of the corners, I feel, are a little more squared off. The 1988 version corners are a bit more rounded, which means they've got a bit more flow to them. So I believe this circuit was referred to as the Nelson, was it the Autodrome Nelson PK in the end? I cannot remember. So I've tried this circuit with 80s F1 cars, and it gets very interesting. I've done various time trials and things, putting my name on the leaderboard. There's one thing about this car in general, because it's like a touring car, you sit so far back, that means the A-pillars really get in the way of seeing the apex. I just don't want to make a stupid mistake this time, because I was solidly in third last time out, and I made a stupid spin and dropped me back to about 5th or 6th, and I had to work my way back up to 4th place. As I say, I just need to score points. So let's hope we have no technical problems, because a do not start will result in 0 points, but it will depend on what the 3rd place driver, because as I said, the 2nd place driver in the championship will not be here tonight. So it does depend where they score, because I believe I'm 36 points in front of 3rd place. So they would have to finish 2nd place with me not scoring, and trying to say, and that would equal on points, but the only thing with that is I would win on countback, because I would have more wins in the championship. So and likely the two people that are going to maybe come 1st and 2nd today are not in the hunt for the championship. so they can just kind of go off into the distance. It'd be good to finish off the year, or at least the championships that are going to be finalised before Christmas. We've still got one more, which is the Group C Championship, which has only just started, and that continues into February next year. But I may not be around for round 2 of that, which is on the 29th, because I doubt that I'm going to get back from wherever I am on that day to start the race. Kind of a pity, really, because it would have been at SRO, and I'm quite a fan of SRO. But the next round's at the Nordschleife, which I wasn't really looking forward to, still not looking forward to. So, but there is an upcoming season in Automobilista 2, which will be some Formula 3 cars. I haven't actually checked the dates on when that's happening or what day it falls on. I presume it might be alternate Saturdays or Sundays. It'd be good to do some open wheels in this sim for a change, at least racing online. I haven't raced the F3s for quite some time. So I'm 1 second off the pace at the moment. It's probably because I'm talking so much. Now I've done some time trials on this circuit, and I'm sure that I put in a 1:56. I'm guessing because I'm talking, I'm not hustling the car. I find that I need to hustle the car a bit more, which is sometimes why in the actual races I don't say an awful lot because I'm concentrating so much. One thing I've forgotten to do is make sure the crew chief is working.
Radio check.
Spotter, radio check.
I've also got to make sure that I'm on random. Right. We all know getting off the grass is difficult. So I got within 1/10 when I was pushing a little more. But this circuit is a lot easier with the open wheelers because you can see the apexes. I mean, it's probably a bit easier if you were doing this on a monitor because you wouldn't be looking at the apexes It's all about when to get back on the throttle there. As always with my sim racing, I kind of prefer... I don't necessarily mind if I'm not at the front. I just mind if I'm... got someone to battle with, you know? That's what I enjoy about it. And it would be good to have a little variation in weather for some of these league races. You can sometimes separate the hot lap merchants from the racers, you know. It just gives a nice variation. It's sometimes a little bit boring, just dry weather all the time. How much fuel for 30? Oh, can't even remember the length of the race. I just can't get that corner right. I go in thinking too much about it. How much fuel for 47 minutes? How much fuel for 47 minutes?
We don't have enough data for that.
What do you mean you don't have enough data? Oh, because I probably started him late on. No. So we've got an air temperature of 27 degrees, track temperature of 51. Right, so let's go out with 36 litres. Let's see what the gauge says. Gauge says 19 minutes for that. So why has it just loaded that? Right, that's 35 minutes. Let's put 80 litres in. That's 43 minutes. We're getting there. How about 90 litres? I think that was kind of around the... So that's 49 minutes, yeah. We'll stick with that. Right, save. Create new. We're just going to call it Jacarapagua. I don't know why I bother putting a description in, really. There we go. Let's see what it's like with race fuel. Probably bloody horrible. Right. Now I did note there was I got a little suspicious about a couple of members that were significantly off the pace, and then suddenly they put in lap times that were like 2 seconds faster than the pole man. But, I'm hoping there's more people that are going to turn up. I don't. We're not early by any means. I know we've got what am I trying to say? So qualifying should start at 1900. I remember there was one such league race where I I turned up an hour early because I got the time zones wrong. And I can't remember whether I'd started stream or not. And then stopped stream and then started it again. I can't remember now. Hills in the background. So if you haven't seen the update post, I did share it on my my Blue Sky. I'm sure you can Google it if you want. So several bug fixes. The most significant part of the update is they're introducing stock cars, gens 1, 2 and 3. I think there is the Le Mans stock car as well. Because it did say Gen 3 LM on it, so I'm assuming that it's probably means Le Mans. So they've got stock cars based in I think the 70s or 80s, and then we've got ones to do with the 90s, which are reminiscent of the Days of Thunder film. And then I think maybe early 2000s. Well, actually, maybe not, because if the same gen was the Le Mans car, that means it's current gen. Which means modern stock cars. I'll have to reread it, I think. So I haven't run this circuit for boost, so I mean, the only real place to run the boost is down the back straight, because the rest of the circuit doesn't have a good enough straight on it. I could maybe activate it just coming around this corner, which is a bit awkward. Because I think the boost will probably last all of this straight. Where in fact maybe it will last a bit more than that. But there's no way to test it until you get to the race. And the only race that I actually managed to use all of my boost is when I was doing a lot of catch-up. I'm going to push the brake balance back a bit. So there's 15 lots of boost, and because it's a long lap here, it probably means the boost is going to arm every lap. So you can see there's 2 yellow switches on my dash there, and if you can see there's a light in the middle of those 2 red ones. That will go green when the boost is active, or the boost is armed rather. And then you see that little digital display that will show 15 at the start of the race, and it will flash blue on the display next to it when the boost is actually active. So that's when I press the button. But it's there's a little bit of a delay before it actually starts, so it's not an instant boost. It's like 3 or 4 seconds. So which is always bloody awkward, because the place you want to arm it is around the entry to a bend or something. But hopefully this is just going to be a leisurely drive round in Brazil. Keep me updated.
Okay, we'll keep you posted.
He's not saying an awful lot, was he? I don't know whether that means that the API has gone absent. Oh, that scared the living crap out of me. So that probably means we're going to quali. Alright, let's put 20 litres in then. So I've only got 5 people in. This is very odd. I guess running things so close to Christmas is... people have got other plans. Actually done any laps on a short fuel load. Right, let's give this a bash. I assume that people can still get in quali. Just missing the apex of that corner because I can't see it. Not troubling these apexes, as they say. Let's try and get the best exit onto the straight as I can. Could have gone down a gear there, but no one around me to get a draft. That wasn't ideal. Nearly fully sideways. So I just take a wider line to turn 1 and 2. Wheel spin on exit there. See what I mean? The guy that was in 3 seconds off the pace has now put a lap time in that's about 5 seconds faster in qualifying. So he was nowhere near pole in practice, and then suddenly when it comes to quali, he's now about 5 seconds quicker than he was before. Go a little bit quicker. I did make a couple of mistakes on the exit of some of the turns. I wasn't as smooth as I should have been. Get the car rotated as well as I would hope. little bit of a better exit, but still feels so loose around that final corner. So I'm kind of matching my time trial time. So it was a little bit deceptive in the time trials. Makes you think like you can go faster, but I think that obviously there's no fuel, and you pretty much run with an empty tank, which is the car's at its absolute lightest. There's probably no tyre wear either. Although ironically there is damage. Distracted by the qualifying over message. I tried it in third gear. It just feels so damn sluggish. Never mind. Never mind. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Oh shit. I didn't press enter. I'll have to remember that next time. When you put something in the chat box and then you click to another tab, it then shows that you're entering that message. Okay, so I'm on the front row. We're going to need to put our race fuel back in. We're going to put in 90 litres. We're going to knock our we're going to knock our brake balance back. Right, here we go. So we're going to put our fuel back in. It's so quick off the line as well. You need to be really prepared. That's why I've put the lights on, because there's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to see the lights.
Okay, no more spotter calls, please, Claire. Okay, spotter calls, please, Claire.
I didn't know I'd turned on the spotter. Right. Let's give this a good bash, shall we? Whew. Right, I need something a bit more upbeat for the start of the race, thanks. I said upbeat. There we go.
I don't know what you're saying.
Ken must have grabbed the front row just before the end of quality there. I didn't see that.
No more spotter calls, Claire.
Well, she didn't tell me anything there. I had to rely on my peripheral vision. I went wide in that right-hander because I knew that the switchback was kind of on, and it looked like Ken must have braked himself. I've still got a rear wing. Just carried too much speed in there. It's the one thing I didn't really want to do. Is crash. Second gear. Flat spotted me tyres. I think sometimes if I don't start the crew chief before the game, he's just completely silent. Keep me updated.
Acknowledged. I'll keep you up to date.
He hasn't said a word. Whether Jagger was in the pits there. He was only like 3 seconds behind. Maybe he's had another off. But that's my nearest championship rival, so. It's that left-hander that I normally brake too much for. It's pretty much a blind apex for me because the A-pillar is obscuring it. I am glad that we're leaning into these league races in Automobilista 2 a bit more though. There's so much choice of cars and track combinations. And I mean different disciplines as well. And now we've got stock cars. We've got GT cars, you've got hatchbacks. Low-powered open-wheelers, high-powered open-wheelers. It's going to be a bloody lonely race. definitely all my overlays, so I'm covering up the pip menu. I haven't actually tried a pit entry yet, so this is going to be interesting. I don't think I've got a lot of damage to fix, but... I knew it. Oh, tires! I see some big black lines there. I don't know if they're my ones or someone else's. I'm wondering whether Ed Jones's brake pedal is stuck on, because he's braking all the way to the corner exit. I don't know if that's a bug or not. Maybe it's latency, but yeah, he's odd. It's either that or he's got damage or something. second place, I think, has disconnected. Maybe it was his black lines. Maybe he span out and retired. Horsepower advantage of the boost. Doesn't stop when the end of the straight comes, so. It doesn't actually feel like it's fixed the damage, because my wheel is still pointing right, or at least it feels like it is. At least it's not vibrating as much as it was. Still vibrates on sharp turning. Just gotta bring it home. I think possibly next time, or next year rather, they're gonna have to maybe not make some series so close to Christmas. Because I'm guessing a lot of people they're perhaps travelling today, or getting prepared for Christmas. I mean, we did have a race on Sunday. Unfortunately, couldn't take part because it was some bad lighting on the track, which was going to give me a headache and a VR headset. So I did a trackside stream instead to cover the action, and cool. And that's only a 3-round championship, but I'll be back driving in Alton Park because I know that Alton Park is a good track. We've driven on it quite a few times. actually, what I should have done really is I should have started the race on Sunday just to get some points, but I then should have retired after a lap. Because it wasn't really just a case of turning the brightness down in the headset. When you turn the brightness down in the headset, you just turn the whites down, really. It doesn't... Yeah, it lessens the impact, but everything else is still bleached out because the exposure was all off. So it doesn't change that. So I had to do some, for stream, I actually had to put some colour correction on the footage in OBS just to make it not be too bad for the eye. I did think about doing a present wrapping stream tomorrow. I've also got to figure out for next week. I've got to figure out how to do proper roast potatoes. I always buy my roast potatoes, so I'm gonna have to have a bit of a think. I'm not really one to follow lots of recipes. I just make it up as I go along. I'm not really a foodie either. If it's functional, I'm happy with that. If it's edible. This car, or most of the Brazilian stock cars, I've not really driven in anger before this series. Some of the tracks as well, I've not actually done any league racing on these tracks. So it's been good to learn some of these things. Because there's a good number of the South American tracks which are pretty classic. They're not famous by any means, but they're good to drive. I'm braking way too late for that last corner, although it probably helps having a wide entry, but glad to see the to the back of this A-pillar, though. Done it again. It's been so gentle coming into that corner. It's just rotated. There's one thing about this car that I've noticed in it seems to have a lot more power than the grip that it gives you. So the rear can sometimes be a bit sliding. Although I tend to try my best to run a low downforce setup, and that kind of works against me a bit. To that corner, slightly more horsepower than I wanted there. I'm just too far behind from second place now to catch up with the amount of time I got left. Nine minutes to catch 8 seconds. I mean, unless I've got a significant pace advantage. So I was a second quicker than him last lap, but I don't know if I can go quicker than that. It's just not feeling like it was. It feels a bit too slidey at the back. Soften the rear anti-roll bar, see if it does anything. Damn it, I thought that was second place ahead of me, but it's fourth place. Thank you, Ed. To do without my spotter, she seems to be asleep. As much as I dislike Jim, it gets a bit lonely without him. Still feels so loose at the back. extra bit of horsepower is not nice around that bend. .5 seconds to close in 4 minutes. That's 2 laps. And I haven't used all my boost again. I could have been using it all the time. Problem is, this circuit is it's at the limit of when the boost activates per lap. So if you're at the point where you've activated it too late on the straight, then it won't activate again. See, my boost won't activate until now. So it's now activating halfway down the straight, which makes it hard in this turn with the extra horsepower. So it's wasted basically. I mean, it looks visually like I've got closer, but the relative is not showing me. Right, 138. So it's possibly the last lap for the leader. And we're already lapped, so this is possibly the last lap. But it's hard to know, really. I don't really want to activate the boost now because it got so hairy in that last corner, in this corner here, so. Oh, my arms. We finished with about 2 minutes and 44 fuel left. So. Oh. There we go. There we go. Alright, remember to press the save replay button, because I always forget. Oh. Okay. Alright, I think I know what the scores will be. So, the last series just before Christmas, and I managed to come away with the win in the championship by about, if I can do my maths, that's 23 points. So I did what I could. Because Philip Pichler wasn't here for the last 2 rounds, it drops him from 2nd down to 4th. But Ken Jagger moves up, and so does Ed Jones. So a bit sparse on the ground from our usual suspects. So we didn't have Pichler, Bateson, Brown, Milliken, Branco. So they must be gearing up for Christmas. Gearing up for Christmas. So, right. So coming up, I don't think we've got anything before Christmas. It's all stopped for Christmas, which is all good. I'm not really awfully busy. So what we got coming up? Let's have a look. So next races that we're doing is December the 28th, which will be the Group 2 Lotus Cortina. That should be fun. So that's on Sunday, 28th of December. And then we got a race right after that on Monday, the 29th of December, with the Group C's at Estoril, or Cascais, if you want to put it like that. I might not be there for that one. I have taken my name off the list just in case, because I don't think I'm going to be back for the race. And then we're back with the next again race. It does say the next series. It's the Euro Formula 3 in 2026, which will be starting the 13th of January. But I believe there will be more stuff on the schedule from then. There is a DRM R Factor 2 series. So if you want to take part in any of the championships at Sim Racing Online, I'll put it in chat, simracingonline.co.uk, and I'll see you later on.